In this video, I will be demonstrating a real-life game theoretic situation between a striker and a defender in the context of football. Football is classed as the most popular sport on earth. It is the most watched and the most played sport by people over the globe. Over 1 billion people spectated the last World Cup final in 2014. Football has always been a strong passion of mine. I am an avid watcher of the sport and keep up to date with the news. I also play the sport regularly. Since learning game theory at university and through my knowledge of football, I have been able to apply its concepts to the sport by producing a normal form game between a striker and a defender. Picture this scenario: you're a striker in a football match. You have the ball in your possession and your team is on the attack. You then strike with the ball towards the opposition penalty box with one of your teammates by your side. You arrive at the opposition penalty box. Your teammate is still by your side, and in front of you stands one opposing defender. This is how the game is produced. You now have two options. The first option is to be selfish and shoot yourself. Your second option is to be greediless and assist your teammate with a goal. The defender also has two options. His first option is to run towards you and intercept the ball. His second option is to mark your teammate. We can conduct a payoff matrix. However, we must make a few assumptions. We assume that both players make their decision simultaneously. There is perfect information. Both players are rational. Both players have two choices in the event. And finally, the defender is of equal distance between you and your teammate. We can represent this normal form game through a matrix. If you decide to shoot and the defender decides to intercept you, then you'll receive a utility of 0 as you are tackled, and the defender receives a utility of 10 as he eliminates your attack. However, if the defender chooses to mark your teammate instead, then you'll receive a utility of 10 as you score a goal, and the defender receives a utility of 0 as he concedes a goal for his team. If you decide to pass to your teammate and the defender tries to intercept you, then you receive a utility of 10 as you assist your teammate with a goal, and the defender receives a utility of 0 as he concedes a goal. On the other hand, if the defender acts to mark your teammate instead, then you receive a utility of 0 as he intercepts your pass, and the defender earns a utility of 10 as he eliminates your attack. In this game, there are no strictly dominated actions for either player. Also, there are no Nash equilibria, as for each outcome, at least one player can increase their payoff by switching their action. Thirdly, there are no Pareto efficient outcomes. This game is an example of the matching pennies game. We will now calculate the mixed strategy equilibrium in this game. This is the probability of a player selecting a particular action such that the other player is indifferent between their actions. Firstly, we assign probabilities to each player's action. We will denote the defender's probabilities with P and the striker's probabilities with Q. We will now proceed to calculate the probabilities of P and Q. To calculate P, we must work out the expected utilities for both of the defender's actions when you, the striker, are indifferent between the selection of your actions. Following this, we then must solve both expected utility equations simultaneously to calculate P. We then get the result of P equals a half. We must repeat this process in order to calculate Q. This gives us the result Q equals a half. Hence the mixed strategy equilibrium is half-half. We can now input these probabilities into the payoff matrix. Through these assigned probabilities, we can see that you will decide to shoot half of the time and choose to assist your teammate half of the time. Similarly, the defender will choose to intercept you half of the time and mark your teammate half of the time. Therefore, in mixed strategy equilibrium, each player will randomize between their actions. We learn that in this game, the outcome will differ each time it is played as there are no dominant strategies for either player. However, on a professional level, football teams may do research on the opposition team. This may include finding out the preferred foot of the opposition strikers. As a result, the probability of the defender carrying out a particular action will change. Also, factors such as the weather and pitch condition can influence the probabilities of both players' actions. I hope you enjoyed my application of game theory. Thanks for watching.